Hello, ladies and gentlemen. For this video, I'm going to be talking about how to write an effective introduction in an essay. I mean, it can be challenging writing an essay, and I completely understand that. But the key thing to writing an introduction is to make sure always that you're going to be able to engage your audience. That's the biggest thing. Now, there's three key components that I'm going to be talking about in this video. The first part is the hook. The second part is the introduction to the author as well as the novel that you're going to be discussing in the essay. And our third part, the big one, the thesis statement. Writing an effective thesis statement is so important when it comes to essay writing. So I'm going to go through these three steps. Now, for your hook, the key thing is to get something that's going to catch the audience's attention right away. Much like in a novel where you want to see some type of conflict or something that kind of makes you want to read more of the novel. In an essay, you're going to want to try to use something, either an idea that you have, a statement based on the theme that you're going to be discussing, or even a quotation, something that's going to catch the audience's attention. Statements are effective ways, quotations are effective ways. Sometimes even students like to use rhetorical questions. For me, I'm not a big rhetorical questions person for an essay, but I would heavily encourage either the quotations piece, but most importantly, a statement. Making a rash statement can be very key. The second part of the introduction is going to be focusing on how to introduce the novel as well as the author. Good way of starting this sentence is by saying, for example, in the story, in the play Othello by William Shakespeare, and then you're going to start incorporating whatever that theme that you had in your hook. You start to introduce that in the second half of introducing the novel and the play. So what this allows for you to do is it creates a certain level of flow and consistency throughout your essay. So the same thing that you were using in the first part, the same idea or the same theme, is now in our second sentence. And we're introducing how that quotation now connects into the play or the novel that we're going to be focusing on. Now, the last component is our thesis statement. And our thesis statement, boy, is it ever important. The thesis statement is going to be broken down right now into two sections: your stance and the arguments. Now, for your stance, what your stance basically does is it tells us what your original idea on the question is going to be. What side are you going to take? So it takes the question that you've been presented with in your essay, and it translates that into a statement. Now, you're not going to incorporate an argument in this piece. That's going to be the second half. But that core idea is what we're always going to be reverting to when we're writing our essay. Now, the second half of that idea is going to be the argument piece. So, for example, you're going to say that the reason why you're supporting that stance is due to reason A, reason B, and reason C. Argument A, argument B, argument C. So this is going to be an influential and an important piece because you're basically saying the reason why you're supporting that stance is because of argument A, of argument B, and of argument C. Now, if your essay is asking for only a one body or a two body paragraph, that's going to influence the amount of arguments that you're going to have inside of your thesis statement. Now, if you're having only a three body paragraph, you're probably only going to have one or two arguments inside that thesis statement. If you're having a five body paragraph essay, you would have, a three body paragraph essay, you would then have three arguments attached to that stance. So it's very important that you develop your arguments logically and that you create a very clear and concise thesis statement. And what I mean by clear and concise, I mean direct and to the point. Eliminate any unnecessary words that you don't need and make sure that the thesis is as concise as possible. I hope you found this video to be very helpful. Should you have any questions, feel free to message me. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to hearing back from you and reading those essays.